Hello, I am Joel Bloom at New Jersey Institute of Technology. We pride ourselves on being part of the Newark community and its advancements in technology, the economy, and the growth of the city. That's why we are very proud to partner with the Caucus Educational Corporation to produce Newark at the Crossroads right here on the NJIT campus. We hope you enjoy this special series.
Funding for this special edition of One-on-One with Steve Adubato at NJIT has been provided by NJIT, New Jersey Institute of Technology, RWJ Barnabas Health, TD Bank, Prudential Financial's Global Communications Department, PSE&G, committed to improving New Jersey's economy and strengthening its communities, the Fidelco Group, and by Verizon. Promotional support provided by NJ.com, Small News, Big News, True Jersey, and by Commerce Magazine.
This is One-on-One. I'm an equal American just like you are.
The jobs of tomorrow are not the jobs of yesterday.
Look at this. You got this?
Here it is, man. Look at that.
Life without dance is boring.
When you first heard that they were doing Charlie Rose and Gayle King, didn't you go, what?
Do you enjoy talking politics?
No.
People call me because they feel nobody's paying attention.
Our culture, I don't think, has ever been tested the way it's being tested right now.
Such a good question. High five.
We are now joined by Robin Dougherty, who is Executive Director, Greater Newark Conservancy. How are you doing?
I'm doing really well. It's a beautiful day.
It sure is. We're taping at the end of the summer of 2016. For those who don't know what the Greater Newark Conservancy is, describe it.
Sure. Our mission is to promote environmental stewardship to improve the quality of life in New Jersey urban communities.
You really do make a difference in a lot of areas. Newark, sometimes referred to as a food desert. What does that mean?
Well, a food desert has actually been described nationally by the USDA, and it really relates to how far a certain number of people live from a grocery store. And so in Newark, we've had traditionally one grocery store for a very long time in the Central Ward, and so many people didn't have the accessibility to get to that store very easily. They'd have to take 2 or 3 buses, then you have to walk with, you know, multiple bags, and so that was considered to be a food desert. People are shopping at local bodegas instead of grocery stores, and so the USDA did, in fact, indicate that Newark qualified as a food desert.
And your organization is trying to change that. So one of the initiatives, community greening. What is it?
Right. So when the Conservancy was founded in 1987, it was really an outgrowth of Rutgers Cooperative Extension. And they were doing a lot of vegetable gardening. At that time, there was a great need for beautification projects. And so we founded this organization called Friends of Urban Gardening, which is the precursor to Greater Newark Conservancy. And it did a lot of tree planting, shrubs, beautification, work in the parks, working with ex-offenders, planting trees, and sort of got a little bit away from that model that the Cooperative Extension had, which was food gardens.
Right.
Circle back, 1998, 2002, our food systems are beginning to be poisoned. People are eating fast food. Obesity is, you know, out of proportion. It's at epidemic levels. And we started looking back at our roots of helping people grow their own food and becoming healthier. We've always had a health mission. We've brought a nutrition educator onto our staff, but really showing people how they can contribute in a positive way to their...
Robin, sorry for interrupting.
Sure.
Keep that shot up there, team. What are we looking at right there? And where is that?
So this is in back of the Kruger Scott Mansion, which is a historical
location right here in Newark.
On the corner of Martin Luther King Boulevard and Court Street. Now the farm is located where all the outbuildings for the old mansion used to be. And the farm is a little under an acre. We've been farming it for about 5 years now. And we raise, 20,000 pounds of fresh fruit and vegetables at the farm. We have beautiful strawberries and raspberries, all kinds of food from okra to, pumpkins will grow at the site. We also have chickens. You can see them over there in the little chicken house.
There are chickens there as well?
There are chickens there, and we've had some chicken theft, but for the most part, our chickens are very lively and healthy on Court Street, producing eggs, which we sell at our youth farm stand, a youth farm stand. Our youth run these farm stands to learn business model.
And what is that?
Those are individual beds that we create for our community members, so that if you, Steve, live in an apartment or
Yep.
a home without a backyard or a front yard, but you still would like to grow vegetables or even flowers, you can, for $10 a year, rent a plot or two from the Conservancy.
For $10 a year?
For $10. And we fill it with soil. We provide the water. You actually could see in the back some cisterns filled with water. We'll provide the seeds, all free of charge, for that $10 fee, and the tools that you need. So it's a pretty good deal.
And the fruit that you have brought in with you here on the beautiful campus of NJIT, that does not come from Newark.
Yes, it does.
Just describe what you have here. Take a look at this.
So I have these beautiful peaches. You know, it's peach season in New Jersey.
Right.
That one may not be quite as ripe as this little guy over here, but these are all grown in Newark in our fruit orchard.
These are Newark
Peaches, absolutely. And they are better than any peach you can buy anywhere.
You know, people I'm sure are very surprised at what they're seeing right now. What is the larger message here in terms of what is possible in cities like Newark or Camden or Jersey City or New Brunswick, Trenton, Philadelphia, wherever we're being seen right now?
Mm-hmm. Well, it takes a lot of cooperation to have this happen, right? We've taken some land that was vacant for a long period of time. There was no productive use, partnered with city administration to have permission to, or state administration to use this land. It takes an investment, and we've invested, I would say, you know, a couple $100,000 in our farms by bringing in clean soil, building the infrastructure, bringing water to the site. What this says is it can provide jobs, it can provide great food, very, very healthy food. We are not certified organic, but we manage everything organically. And because it's grown local and managed organically, it's about as healthy as you can get. You know, you don't have to wait for 2 or 3 weeks for something to come from Chile or even California. It's right here in our backyard.
Right here in Newark. The other thing is we just had former Governor Jim McGreevey in, who you know very well, and we were talking about the issue of prisoner reentry and programs that try to help those who have been incarcerated, who are out, find ways to be gainfully employed, find ways to be engaged in activities that make a difference in the community. You know this very well, do you not?
I do know it very well.
Talk
That's where
about it.
my heart is. So we couldn't do all the great work we do without some partnerships, and certainly the partnership with former Governor McGreevey through the New Jersey Reentry Corporation has been important to us. On my staff, I would say about a third of my staff are formerly incarcerated individuals.
A third of your staff?
Correct.
Formerly incarcerated?
Correct.
Why did you do that?
I just have I don't know, I have a passion for helping people.
Because you had to convince other people it was the right thing.
Oh, I did.
This was not an easy sell, I know it.
It was not an easy
What did you
sell,
tell them?
and it's still a sales pitch,
Is that
even
right?
now, to this day, with some people who feel that you know, people have done committed crimes against society.
What is the pitch?
My pitch is we've all made mistakes. I know I've made mistakes.
Join the club.
And if I were the same as some of my employees, and they are, and let me tell you a quick story.
Sure.
I have a guy on my staff who spent 18 years in prison for beating a man who raped his 8-year-old daughter. 18 years for raping his 8-year-old daughter. If he were white, highly educated, he would have been, a statue would have been erected in his honor for doing something like that. This guy went away for 18 years because he was illiterate, poor, and black. And that's not fair. That's just not fair.
He's on your staff?
He is on my staff, and he's a great guy. I've had him as an employee for 7 years. He's a wonderful human being. He's raised his children, you know, and he's giving back to society. So I see stories like that, and it just makes me even more passionate about making sure people have jobs, that they can go to work and they can provide for their families and be productive members of society. And I know they can because I have the proof of that.
There's no real segue for this because what you just said was so powerful, but I also know you have some other vegetables there.
Yes, I do.
Come on,
I,
show me. What
I
is that?
brought
I'm
some-
not.
these-
I
well,
don't
you-
love tomatoes, but
You know this tomato.
that is a Jersey tomato.
This is a Roma tomato.
Aroma.
This is-
Come
Come on, this is your heritage,
This
Steve.
is a guys. Steve, you got a shot of this? A Roma tomato.
Yes, and you can make wonderful bruschetta.
You can make now.
Yes.
Now I have to. Can I have this?
These are all for you.
My wife is.
And these beautiful cucumbers, which were just picked this morning. So
No,
you know,
these are just.
everything was just gathered.
These are not all Newark.
These are all Newark. We are all
you
Newark
kidding?
all the time.
You were doing wonderful things with your team. Got that, folks? Robin Dougherty is the executive director of Greater Newark Conservancy, a great organization founded in 1987.
Yes.
Making a difference every day in the
Thank
city
you.
of Newark and beyond.
appreciate
Keep
it.
doing what you're doing. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Steve. It's great to be here.
Stay with us from NJIT. We'll be right back.
To watch more One-on-One with Steve Adubato, find us online and follow us on social media.
We are pleased to be joined by Sharon Berry, founder and president of Project Redirect Youth and Family Services. How you doing?
I'm doing fine. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing great. Tell us what Project Redirect is.
Well, Project Redirect is an organization that I founded 20 years ago. We just celebrated our 20th year.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. And it's just an organization that works to give young people the right to, as a supplemental education program. And we do academics. We do. We have a Healthy Minds, Healthy Bodies initiative where we teach, of course, to improve emotional intelligence. We do all kinds of preventative areas for bullying, improving self-esteem, self-awareness, and child abuse prevention. And we have supervised recreation. We have a parent initiative, as well as we do a school of work initiative for young people. In the fall, we have, in the spring, we have indirect services where we do what's called campaign for April is National Child Abuse Prevention Month. So we are advocates of children, more than educators, more than people who just in the classroom. We advocate for children and their situations.
So you spent a few years as an educator, as a professional educator, public school teacher before this, right?
Yes.
Why'd you go into teaching?
Well, I went into teaching to be honest with you, I went into teaching because my daddy told me to be a teacher. I'm going to be very honest. My father said, well, you know, your Aunt Martha's a teacher, and your Aunt Juanita's a teacher, and I want you to be a teacher. So I was raised with the notion of going to college and being a teacher.
27 years you stayed.
Yeah, I loved it.
What'd you love about it?
I loved it. I love, first of all, I love the subject matter that I was teaching. I love English and all the various facets of English. I love working with the young people. I love watching them grow, watching them develop. I love just being involved with them in many different situations, in school and out of school. And I loved working with the parents.
What did you see a lot of the young men and women facing as a teacher that caused you to decide to start this organization? That's
a good question. And in order to understand that, we'd have to go back to my childhood, go back to my roots, go back to Brooklyn, New York, going back to Bed-Stuyvesant, going back to many things I saw coming up as a young person, many of the things I saw coming back in the world of education, the drugs, some of the gang violence, some of the violence. A lot of the young people were facing the same types of situations. In the 90s, when Project Redirect was first founded, we were in a time was very turbulent. You had a lot of gang violence, you had drugs, you had a situation where young people needed to have something additional to what the school was offering. I was a school counselor at that time and noted there needed to be something else that they were giving because I was one counselor to 500 young people. And I noticed that in the suburbs, you had one counselor per grade level. So I developed a program, developed an educational system that incorporated both the academics and the emotional piece of it. As the educational community would say, we worked with the cognitive and the affective domain, meaning the education as well as the behavioral.
But sorry for interrupting, but you have to start this organization. You got to go out, you got to put the team together, you got to raise the money. Did you know you had to do all that?
No. No one told me.
That's what I'm saying.
No one told me. I just had a passion. I had a vision, and I went at it full force. I founded it, And I pulled together the board, and from very, very humble beginnings, I was the main grant writer.
You did it all.
Yeah, I'm afraid I did. I was a
course you
teacher,
did.
I was a counselor because I had the skills, and I just put my everything into this project.
And today, how many young people do you think you've helped?
Well, I'm glad you asked that question because my program evaluated, and I would say in the past 20 years, I would say it's been at least 2,000 young people that we've helped in direct services and so many other people that we've helped in indirect services.
What does that make you feel?
Oh my goodness, every day is a reward. I feel so rewarded, you know, every time I go into the program, every time I see the young people, and I come to the school, come to the center, they're waiting for me, they're waiting to greet me.
What are they looking for?
They're looking for hope. They're looking for hope. They're looking for hope. They're looking for hope. I think they're looking for love. I think they're looking for understanding. I think they're looking for caring. Sometimes they're looking for a mother.
Are you?
Definitely I am. Definitely I am. I refer to them as my children. Yes.
Are they?
They are definitely my children. Yes.
You got enough love for all of them?
Yeah, every last one, including my own.
So interesting. I always wonder when I sit across from someone who has dedicated his or her life to so many other people, where it comes from. That commitment, that compassion for other people.
Well, I think it's a good question. I think people came into this world, they were born for a reason. As I watch the Olympics and I see all the Olympic people, I can't do that.
So you're saying that you didn't come in to run the 440?
No, I didn't.
Neither did I.
I didn't come to run the 440.
Or Michael Phelps, neither did I.
But I think I was given a divine assignment to work with children that I do, and I love doing it. And I must say, I do it well.
So, bottom line is this. You're a leader. I ask leaders who come in here the greatest lesson they've learned about leadership, because I'm fascinated by it. What's the most significant lesson you've learned about leadership in the few years you've been at this?
That's a good example. To be a good leader, you must set a good example. To be a good leader, you must be willing to do the things that you ask other people to do. You must lead by example. You must be able to, you have to roll up your sleeves, you have to step in the mud sometimes. You can't lead from a distance, you can't lead from a safe position. You have to step right into it. You have to lead. On Saturday mornings, I go in, I teach children, I counsel children, I get involved, I show my teachers what they're supposed to do, how they're supposed to do it. And I'm the first one, if I give out a challenge, I'm the first one who accept that challenge and show them through my own example.
Sharon Berry.
Yes, sir.
Founder and president, Project Redirect, Youth and Family Services. Keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Thank you.
You got the passion.
To see more one-on-one with Steve Adubato programs, visit us online at steveadubato.org. If you would like to express an opinion, email us at info@caucusnj.org. Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/Steve Adubato PhD and follow us on Twitter at Steve Adubato.
Steve Adubato, we are proud to be at the 2016 PGA Championship at beautiful Baltusrol Golf Club in Springfield, New Jersey, and our honor to be talking to Chris Hunt, Executive Director, New Jersey Golf Foundation. By the way, what is the foundation?
The New Jersey Golf Foundation is a 501c3 started by the New Jersey PGA section in 2004. It has 3 pillars, a youth pillar, a military pillar, and a special needs pillar, and the mission is to positively impact lives and communities through the game of golf.
Let's talk a little bit about this. The PGA Junior League is?
PGA Junior League is a relaxed way to get beginner golfers out playing golf in a relaxed atmosphere. Most golf is stressful. A lot of the junior tours are competitive, but PGA Junior Leagues, they have numbers on the back of their jerseys. They come out as a team. They play a relaxed rules of golf, and it's just a way to introduce and get kids on the golf course that otherwise probably would go to another sport.
For folks who don't appreciate this or understand it, our boys are 12 and 13 as we do this program, and I've tried to get them out there with me, and it's tough to keep them out there for all 18, and so you play a few holes. Are there any keys for parents who would want to get their kids into the game, no matter where they live, inner city, urban, suburban, rural environment?
I would say you should really look out for your local PGA professional, whether that be at a local private club or a local public golf course. A lot of people don't realize that you can go to a private club and get instruction from a PGA member, even if you are not a member of that club. And I think if you reach out through PGA Junior League Golf and their website, find a local team in your area. A lot of them have open tryouts, and a lot of them don't even often have a tryout. They'll accept anybody on their team that's interested in the game.
The other area you talked about is veterans. It's a particular program. Is it called PGA Hope?
Yes.
What is that program?
HOPE is an acronym for Helping Our Patriots Everywhere. It's run through the VA. There's a partnership between the PGA of America and the VA. And what we do is we use golf as an additional rehabilitation widget, if you will, to when the veterans are up in the hospital and they go through their treatment, we get them out on the golf course, get them in a relaxed atmosphere, bring PGA professionals in, teach them the game of golf, and nothing more than just camaraderie. They put their everyday thoughts aside and they're able to come out there as a unit and enjoy the game of golf. And we've had a program here in New Jersey out of the VA and Lions since 2014, which this year we now run 52 weeks a year. So we have a program, 90 minutes once a week, all year long for our veterans.
How do you identify those vets?
The VA.
Veterans Administration.
Yes, the Veterans Administration vets them out. Right now we are dealing 100% with veterans that have either traumatic brain injury or are suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder.
What does it do for them?
What I've found in the last 2 years is just when they're out on the golf course, they're hitting range balls, they're smiling, they're talking, they're having fun, they're joking, they're not worrying about all of the everyday things that are really, really tough to deal
Where
with.
did this idea come from?
Came from the PGA of America and their charitable arm, PGA Reach. At the end of 2013, started to roll out in 14. We were a pilot program, and now we've jumped full on board to do it all year round.
And the other program that I want to talk about is Golf in Schools. What is that?
Golf in Schools is a program that we started in 2008 here in New Jersey, and what we do is we bring PGA professionals into the schools, teach the teachers how to teach golf, and get elementary and middle schools to incorporate golf into their physical education curriculum. We're in over 200 middle schools and have about 100,000 students a year learning golf and physical education classes around the state.
Chris, is it more challenging being born and raised in Newark, where I was, and there were not a lot of golf courses. And I realized that I picked up the game in my early 20s. How challenging is it to get kids in urban areas into golf and what's being done there?
It's extremely challenging, and what you have to do is you have to bring the game to them. So that's why we do the Golf in Schools program. We know they have proper supervision. They're there with their teachers. They're there with their students. We also have a program that runs in conjunction with the Boys and Girls Clubs in the state, as well as Big Brothers, Big Sisters. So there's a way through community relations to actually start to introduce the game of golf. If it gets to the point where we identify enough junior players that want to then take it to the next level, we'll then bring them out to a golf course. But right now, if you don't go in to Newark or Patterson or Elizabeth, where we have great inner city programming, it's tough to get them out to a golf course.
You got to go to them.
Got to go to them.
And the other program that we talked about here, we're actually, if you're just joining us right now, we're at the PGA Championship, which is always fun to say, and we're at the first of 4 days of a great championship. The PGA Championship at Baltusrol Golf Club in Springfield, New Jersey. There's a program called Healthy Steps. What is that program and how are you guys connected to it?
The New Jersey Golf Foundation, in conjunction with RWJ Barnabas Health Systems and Horizon Blue Cross Blue Shield New Jersey, through New Jersey native and PGA Tour player Morgan Hoffman, were able to come up with the Healthy Step Challenge, where Morgan takes the lead and our PGA Junior Tour members follow, and they have pedometers. They are walking in all of our events, and we actually had a challenge to where we identified 4 PGA Junior Tour players that walked the most during the month of July. They're going to have a chance to meet Morgan in 2 weeks here at Baltusrol at a function that we're having. And it's just a way to use Morgan, who's such a proponent of healthy living and healthy eating. Our Junior Tour players look up to Morgan. Morgan's a local, even though he's only 25, 30 years old, is a local legend in New Jersey, and it allows our Junior Tour members to identify with somebody who was playing in the same Junior Tours events as they were 10 years ago.
Yeah, as you're listening to Chris, this guy Morgan Hoffman that's being talked about, we did an interview with him. He's an ambassador for Horizon Blue Cross and Blue Shield of New Jersey and RWJ Barnabas Health. He is one of the hottest golfers on the PGA Tour. I implore you to go on our website, steveadubato.org, put in Morgan Hoffman's name. You'll see that website on the screen as I'm talking to you right now. Check out a great interview we did with this guy talking about his connection to golf, why he cares about fitness and wellness so much, and also this Healthy Steps program. So I want to make that connection for you. Final question for you. When did you fall in love with golf?
I fell in love with golf as a young teenager when I threw my arm out in baseball. And
that'll do it.
I looked to my father and I said, you know, I'm high school's coming up. I could try to play first base, or I can do track or golf. And if you look at me, you're like, all right, track's out of the question. So we went with golf, and I fell in love with it. My father played it casually, and ended up having a career in the golf industry. So there aren't many ways to look on a positive of throwing your arm out at 13 years old, but I have to look back on it and say it was a blessing in disguise.
Chris Hunt is Executive Director of the New Jersey Golf Foundation and involved in a lot of great causes, and I want to thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Steve. Always a pleasure.
One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation, celebrating over 25 years of broadcast excellence. Funding for this special edition of One-on-One with Steve Adubato at NJIT has been provided by NJIT, RWJ Barnabas Health, TD Bank, Prudential Financial's Global Communications Department, PSC&G, the Fidelco Group, and by Verizon. Transportation provided by Airbrook Limousine, serving the metropolitan New York, New Jersey area. One-on-One with Steve Adubato at NJIT has been produced in cooperation with FiOS One News.
I think at NJIT there are a lot of smart students.
I came to NJIT for mechanical engineering because with in-state, it's one of probably the top 3 schools for engineering.
It sort of creates a friendly competition where you know you can learn from them.
It's a great academic school.
I feel I'm being challenged, but at the same time, I love the classes I'm taking.
The atmosphere of being here is like being at an upstart company. It's that same kind of drive, that same kind of passion.